We have about 40 people who signed up. So tonight we're going to talk about Zircon and Zirconia. And so I think there are many people that don't really know Zircon, or they get confused with Zirconia. So today Andrew is going to share about the differences and a very interesting history about Zircon as well. So before that, just to introduce myself, my name is Hui Ying, and Kun Ming over there, we are the co-founders of the Gem Museum. So we graduated with Gem A with the FGA. That is a diploma in gemology from the Gemological Association of Great Britain. So that was some time ago. So we have been gemologists for I think about 10 years already since then. And of course, Andrew is going to share with you about Zircon and Zirconia later, and I'll leave it to him to introduce himself. So for those who are new with us, just do a quick introduction of who we are as a company. We are actually a Far East Gems group. And what do we have? We actually have a gem testing lab where we have advanced gem testing equipment like FTIR and EDXRF. This is a UVV's equipment to test for diamonds, okay, synthetic and natural diamonds. And the Gem Museum is actually an initiative by Far East Gem Institute, where we teach certified diamond grader program, gemologist program, jade as well, different courses we have. And Far East Gems and Jewelry is a showroom. We have a showroom at the museum on the third level. If you have been to our museum before, you might have visited us upstairs. And this is Kun Ming is the one in charge of this. So what we do is that we do customized jewelry. We help people to source for diamonds, gemstones, and this is where we source for gems. So if you are interested to find gemstones or to buy some unique gemstones, please feel free to let Kun Ming know as well. Of course, the Gem Museum is where we really get together like-minded people. We are the platform. We envision to be the platform where we bridge the gems and jewelry industry with the rest of the world together. So we want to run like various programs, and this series of webinar is where we will just educate everyone, the public, on gemstones. Yes. So okay, so that's our group. So without further ado, I will let Andrew share his presentation.
So this week, we're going to talk about Zircon and cubic zirconia. So before that, I'm going to recap what we shared last week. Okay, last week we talked about cat's eye crystal beryl. Okay, and crystal beryl, we talked about how rare and how eye-catching they can be, in spite of being a relatively unknown gemstone. So Kun-Ming as well, he showed a few examples of cat's eye, the milk and honey crystal beryl, which is really huge, really beautiful stone. While I was doing this slide, I was kind of reminded of my instructor while I was in school in GIA, and what she is American, who lived in London for a long time, and she is a very adorable person, and I would say. So every time when we reach a complicated topic, for example, the synthesis method of creating synthetic and simulants, that is a very complicated method. So what she will do is she will give very relatable metaphors for us to remember well. So I'm not gonna say it now. I'm gonna say it later in the slide, which is included as well. So let's begin the slides. So zircon or zirconia, you might ask. These two has been creating confusion in the public for, I don't know, like a long time, I would say. And despite a lot of trade and gem experts giving their thought on these two, the differences of these two, there are still many people that are confused about these two. Why are they names? They have similar names, and why are they alike or whatnot? So these two. So today we're gonna actually, to be fair, if I was not a gemologist, okay, if I go out into the market or retail outlet and seeing these two things side by side, I would definitely be confused as well. So judging by these two names, I would say that maybe they are the same. And if I have a question, I would definitely ask the staff of the retail outlet. So that is another problem. Retail outlet is not a place for education. You see, that's why we are here, a qualified gemologist to explain the myths or the confusion between maybe different stones, or for example, zircon and zirconia. So here we're going to discuss about this and the facts between these two different gemstones as well. So zircon and cubic zirconia, which I'm going to call it CZ, have a rather similar name. And that is because of the element of zirconium. Yes, both of them, they are chemically composed of zirconium, except for CZ is not a synthetic zircon. Although they might look the same, like this picture right here, you can guess which one is zircon, which one is CZ. And these two are actually not related at all, except for the zirconium elements in it. They have their own physical properties, chemical and optical properties. So these two are not the same at all. But they do have one common purpose, which is to imitate the girl's best friend, the diamond. Okay, these two are actually quite a popular diamond imitation because both of them, they have generally the same appearance compared to a diamond. They have roughly the same refractive index and the dispersion rate as well. To make matter worse, when both of these zircon and CZ are cut into a round brilliant, okay, a round brilliant when placed side by side is just very hard to see the difference, especially for the untrained eyes. It's really hard to tell the difference. And so in the market, CZ is actually more widely used compared to the zircon due to its low cost and abundancy of them. And when CZ starts to flood into the market, it kind of caused a mixed up between zircon and CZ because people that doesn't know a lot about them would definitely confused by it, like what like the problems, like what are they, what's their background and whatnot. So let's talk about zircon first. Okay, zircon is zirconium silicate. Okay, naturally found throughout the world. It can form in all types, basically all types of rocks, igneous, the sedimentary, and the metamorphic rocks. And zircon basically has been used for over 2,000 years as a gemstone, you see. So, and even now is served as the birthstone for December as well. So zircon has a good hardness. It ranked 7.5 on the Mohs scale. It's relatively harder than a lot of things, a lot of household things like the stainless steel and glass as well. And naturally, zircon can be found either brown or red. And it can also be colorless, yellow, blue, and green, either naturally or treated. The blue in particular is very famous during the Victorian era. Okay, during the mid 19th centuries, during the time of the Queen Victoria in British. Why do I say so? Because many jewelries dating back to the Victorian era are they consist of the blue zircon. So zircon, they have moderate fire. Fire is actually the dispersion of white light. When the light enters the stone, it will break up into its spectral colors. So moderate fire is kind of similar to the diamonds. And however, one thing that you can differentiate zircon and diamond is zircon's strong doubling. So what you see in this picture, you kind of makes you feel like you're drunk, but you're actually not. What you see is the doubling in doubly refractive gemstone. So you can see all the double lines over here. and double facets. So this doubling can actually only be found in um, doubly refractive stone with high birefringence. So in zircon, you don't really need to use like a high-powered microscope to see its doubling. Um, and SR stone or singly refractive stone like diamonds, they do not have doubling, or doubly refractive stone with low birefringence like the corundum, you can barely see the doubling in the stone at all. So there is one way to differentiate the zircon and the diamond. So but apart from that, zircon is actually one of, not one of it's actually the oldest minerals on Earth. The zircon actually mined in Australia, and it was dated almost 4.5 billion years old. Billion, okay? It's actually mind-boggling because I don't even know how old the Earth is. So, and another fact is the first dinosaur we know was less than 250 million years old, which is just a tiny fraction of what the zircon is age. So, okay, the T-Rex is of course not the first dinosaur we know. This photo is just for illustration purposes only. And how do we know the age of the zircon, you might ask? So it's actually part of the geologist's field of expertise. They would regularly date rocks and minerals. Bones, however, is another part of the story. They use radiocarbon to test bones, tissue, and organic matter. Whereas for rocks and minerals, they will use radioactive dating, where they measure the decay products of uranium or thorium or lead in zircons. And geologists love this method because almost all of the igneous and metamorphic rocks, they have this radioactive elements in them. Um, and this method also provides geologists a very effective and accurate dating for the minerals. So when radioactive decay, it will cause some disintegration of crystal structure of the zircon's crystal structure due to those elements within the crystal. So, and thus causing a change in physical and optical properties, for example, the specific gravity and refractive index. So imagine if you hold a normal zircon on your hand and another one that is very damaged ones. So you can actually feel the difference in weight, okay? And refractive index, the damaged one was slightly lower than the normal zircons. More of that later. So the term for those damaged zircons, okay, is called metamic zircons, or for simpler terms, we call it low zircons as well. So these are the types of zircons, okay? They are ranked high, medium, and low. The high zircons, they have little to no damage at all, and they have typical zircon properties. Um, Whereas the medium ones, they have a slight damage to its crystal system, and also slight different in other zircon properties as well. As for the low ones, they have extensive damage and much lower zircon properties. And in some extreme and extremely rare cases, those low zircons, I should say, those radioactive elements, they can actually cause the low zircons to be amorphous, which means they have no crystal structure at all, okay, due to the decay of the structure. But it takes millions of years. It's not a matter of years, decades, or centuries. It takes millions of years for those radioactive to cause damage to the zircons. But so you might be wondering, is it safe to carry a zircon with radioactive elements in it? So the answer is yes, it is safe. basically all zircons in jewelries are high zircons, and even though they have a slight amount of radioactive elements in it, um, those amounts are too small to cause any damage to anyone, you see. And interesting enough, the heat treatment can revert those low zircons back to its original crystalline form. So this is really interesting. It's almost like reversing the entire disintegration process. And for zircons, however, is routinely treated. Okay, the natural colors like the reddish, brownish red, the brown, the purple, and all other colors, they are um, treated to create those colors. And also green zircons, when you see a green zircon, it's actually most probably a low zircon, because radioactive, it causes green, the green color in zircons, not just in zircon, in diamonds as well. So green diamonds are caused by radioactive radiation, I would say. So, and it's really hard to tell whether it's a natural radiation or a synthetic radiation in a lab, because both of them, they are the same. So back to zircon is, yeah, green zircons you don't really see much often because they will just heat it and make it into a much desirable color, like the blue or the yellow or colorless even. So that's all for zircon. So let's talk about cubic zirconia, the CZ. As I mentioned, both of them, they have this zirconium element in it. But CZ is actually a dioxide, which makes it different than the silicate of zircon. And cubic zirconia can only be found in the lab. Okay, it's a lab grown simulant. When I say simulant, it can be a natural or a synthetic simulant to imitate a natural counterpart. So for example, zircon is a natural simulant to imitate the diamond, whereas CZ is a laboratory grown simulant. And it's actually the product of industrial grade zircons. Like last week, I talked about how minerals becomes a mineral ore for extraction of the minerals in them. So zircons, industrial zircons, they are actually smelted and extracted those zirconium elements and make it into a high purity zirconium powder. Okay. Other elements such as beryllium, they are extracted from beryl, and lithium are extracted from spodumene. So CZ, they're actually the byproduct of industrial grade zircons. So this is the fire that I mentioned before. This is the spectral light that is broken up inside the stone. So CZ can be, they have a much stronger fire compared to the diamond. So when you hold a CZ, it's just like a sparkle, it's just like a disco ball inside the stone, you see. So yes, it is a popular stone, a choice to simulate diamonds when it's colorless. But it also can come in many other different colors as well. So colorless is pure, it's just composed of zirconium and zirconium oxide powder. Whereas based on demands, they can add other elements into it to create other colors. For example, if they put iron in it, they can become a yellow CZ, or a cobalt, they become a blue CZ. So in this picture, you can see many different colors that look really like other gemstones. Like you can see ruby, emerald, sapphire, amethyst, you name it, you see. So they actually can imitate other gemstones as well based on their own color. So how it's made? They are made in lab through a skull melting method. A skull melting might sound a little bit wrong, but it has nothing to do with a human skull or an organic skull whatsoever. So the skull is actually referring to the crucible itself. The crucible, they call it the skull. Okay, so how do they do CZ? Is they will melt the powdered zirconium oxide to almost 5,000 degrees. So um, this one, this is the thing that I mentioned about my instructor before. This one, we don't really talk about this in class because it's a very complicated subject. Um, However, synthesis of gems, they can categorize into two categories. So one is the melting method, which is this one, and one is the solution method, which is more high tech and much more expensive. So what she will give a metaphor is she will relate this to cooking. Okay, melting, like what I mentioned, they will she will relate this to baking. Okay, when you you buy all the ingredients, you mix it all together and put it in the cask, and then you place it in the oven to a high degree, and voila, you become a bread or a cake. And for the solution method, she'll refer those as you making a pasta. Okay, so pasta is hard; you have to boil it, right? So when you prepare a pot of hot water, a boiling water, you add some salt, you add some oil, and you place the pasta. It becomes soft, right? So you pour away the solution, and it becomes a ready to eat pasta. So that is the solution method. So these two are the synthesis method. And for the skull mounting method, each crucible they can produce up to 1 kilograms of CZ. That's equivalent to 5,000 carats of gemstone weight. That is a lot. You can imagine just one ring on the finger is just less than 1 carat. So you can imagine 5,000 carats of CZ you can make into so many stones. You see. So until now, it's still a good substitute alternative for diamonds, but it has a short history. Okay, CZ was actually first created in 1970. Okay, first created in 1970, but it was only massively produced for jewelry in 1976. Okay, and it proves to be a good investment, I would say, because it it looks sparkly, is has a low cost, and good melts produces excellent CZ. Okay, almost flawless in clarity and top color. Imagine a CZ with D flawless um, in as a clarity, as the quality of the CZ. So that is why people are still going for it. And actually, to be honest, the future market for CZ won't be slowing down much soon because the market is still very big for CZ, and there are still many profits to reap from CZ. One thing I found out about CZ is it's also known as American diamond in the US. Something that I would not agree. I believe many people would not agree to this term because it's a misnomer, and you cannot just put a name from another mineral to use it as a synthetic stone, which is point blank cheating. Um, so yeah, I believe many people in the US won't be using this term as well. And look at this picture right here. It looks really, really good um, on settings. Okay, to match with the low cost of the CZ, you can match it with cheap metals like silver or stainless steel. It just looks good in any way. You see. So here's a simple table of difference of these two minerals. Zircon is natural, CZ is man-made. Zircon has a luster of vitreousy luster to subadamantine, whereas CZ, it has subadamantine, which is really shiny when you shine the light through it, the reflection of light. So zircon, it has moderate fire, almost the same as diamond, whereas cubic zirconia, it has strong fire, like what I said, the disco ball within the stone. And zircon is a DR, a doubly refractive stone that shows strong doubling, whereas CZ is an SR, which has no doubling at all. As zircon, as all natural gemstone, they might have natural inclusions like crystals, like fingerprints, like fractures. And CZ, they are mostly flawless, okay, due to a control, due to they are made in a controlled environment, you see. So, and lastly, the zircon does not fluoresce under UV light, whereas zircon, CZ, they fluoresce under UV light in many different colors. So my conclusion is both of them, they have their own characteristic, they have their own pros and cons. Um, in the end, knowledge is the key to this for you to decide which one suits your purposes. And in the end, it's up to you to choose which one suits you better, the natural or the man-made one. And few months ago, we made a jewelry, which is really, really nice. I hope Kumi had the photo of it later. Um, a man brought a sentimental watch strap, a gold watch strap. So in the end, she paired it with a large zircon in the middle, and for his wife actually. So the end product was just a magnificent kind of like watch jewelry, you see. So I hope Kuming will show you the photo later. I do not have it here. So that's all for my slide. Thank you for listening. I'll pass it back to Hui Ying or Kuming.
Wow, thank you, Andrew. Thank you for your sharing. I think the very interesting part I thought was the age of zircon, dated to prehistoric times. So that was interesting. I think for zircon, it's also very interesting to know that it is formed under similar temperature and pressure as diamonds. So that sometimes we might see some zircons as well in as an inclusion. So that's something quite interesting. And zircon has got many other interesting features as well. So in any case, let me just come back here. All right. So as usual, before Kuming pops out with his gemstones, I just let everyone know our moving out sale is confirmed, and of course, some of you are already in our Facebook group. So feel free to check out Moving Out Sale, the Gem Museum Shop Facebook group. And if you aren't sure, I think my colleague will put it in the chat group later on. You can just go and join our group. All right, so next week, sorry, not next week, next month, we're going to have with Mr. Tay as well, talking about diamonds from Kalimantan on the 10th of July. And for the Gem Museum, zooming into gems, we're going to talk about emeralds, feldspar, opals, and peridots. So if you are interested, please feel free to check out our Eventbrite page at vicegeminstitute.eventbrite.com or thegemmuseum.eventbrite.com. So you will be able to find these topics. Once it's ready, you will see the registration link in our Eventbrite pages. Okay, so you have if you have any, put it into the Q&A box while Kunming share and showcase his gemstones to everyone through the microscope and his cameras. So Kunming.
Hi everybody. Okay, thanks Andrew for the very informative sharing. So I want to show you all some zircons and some zirconia. So these are zircon and cubic zirconia. So can you tell me which is the zircon and which is cubic zirconia? Y'all can put it in the chat. Let me just go a bit closer. So these two ovals, is it zircon or cubic zirconia? These two oval stones. How about this round stone here? Is this zircon or cubic zirconia? Let me check the chat. Yeah, this is fun. Okay. So, and then how about this? How about the purple one? Is this purple one cubic zirconia? What do you think? This purple one, this black one? Do you think it's cubic zirconia?
That's interesting.
All right.
It's really difficult to tell from the camera.
So yeah, so anyway, the first two here, I'm gonna review. These are not zircons, natural zircons. These first two. The first two are natural zircons. This, let's zoom in a bit. This is a cubic zirconia. This diamond is like cubic zirconia. And then this small little guy, he's a diamond.
Wow, hidden among all the fakes and the
Yeah.
other types of gems.
Yes.
Yeah, you need to tap it to focus.
Okay,
All
this
right.
is a small guy, is a cubic zirconia. Oh no, it's a diamond.
No.
All right. And then the purple one is a cubic zirconia. And the black one is also a cubic zirconia. This orange one is also cubic zirconia. But I want to, and you see this really red one? This is a natural zircon. So zircon comes in many colors. Okay, many colors like red, blue, green, brownish, and white. You have white, and so on. And you can cut in many different shapes. I see this baguette cut. This baguette cut. This is a cubic zircon, natural zircon. Okay, I want to show you all these, not all, just pick a few pieces and show you under the microscope, okay? So are you ready to zoom into the gem?
Yes. So I think some of them, they have very keen eyes.
Yeah,
They
you are very sharp, you know.
yeah.
Jessica said, first row one, third from the left. Third from the left is, looks, yeah, you're right. Round is CZ, so yeah, the round is CZ. The smaller round is diamond. And the purple one is also, wow, Gaurav got it correct too. Wow, you guys are really sharp. So let me stop share.
Yeah.
Okay, let me get back to business. So today I have a new toy. It's a Dino Light Dino Eye that you can see under our Leica microscope. So the first one I want to show you. Okay, look at my face. Look at my face. Okay, this is a branded Dija cubic zirconia. Okay, you can find them. It's a very high quality one. This is one of our institute, our Far East Gem Institute samples. And I tell you, it was amazing, you know. Let me show you under the microscope. So in cubic zirconia, once you cut it really well, you see the difference. Wow, wow, wow. Look at this. Okay, I know this is not so good. Let me show you under the microscope. All right, so let me turn it on. Can you see? Okay, it's a bit blurred. Let me just adjust it a little bit. Can you see? You see, very nice. Okay, why do I say very nice? Take a look at the facets. All the facets are very sharp. You see? This is a not trademark. This is actually a design of a very well-cut cubic zirconia. Many times cubic zirconia, you won't find a sharp facet. Okay, and you see, wow, look at that. Look at all the facets. So let me zoom in. Okay, guys, if you can close your eyes for a while. Let me just adjust it. I don't want you to get pukey. Okay, so you see, I want to show you. You see the sharp facet edges. Look at that. Look at that. The kite facet. So I can't point, but you can see the facet edges are all meeting each other. So they are all lovers. They love each other. They meet each other. Okay, in a well-cut cubic zirconia. Let me show you a not so well-cut cubic zirconia. All right, give me a moment.
So I heard like very well-cut cubic zirconias, they are sort of graded. AAA, and all that, correct?
Okay, so now let me show you. This is the You know, no brand, no brand. This is branded, this no brand. Okay, let's take a look. So let's zoom out first. Can you see the difference? Oh, the stone is off center. You know, the cooler is not in the center of the stone. You can see that it's leaning to it's not in the center. Let's take a look at the facets now. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Look at the facets. Look at this. Oh man, I think the cutter was drunk or something. You know, maybe he was thinking of his girlfriend. You know, he was very artistic. You know, he got artistic flair, so he didn't make the facets straight. So it looks so curvy, wavy. Look at that. Okay, look at some of these facets. This one is very clear. It's not meeting at all. I use my cursor. Can you see my cursor?
Yeah.
See, this part is totally not meeting at all. I mean, it's meeting, but it's not at the tip at each other. All right.
Yeah.
They are
Poor cut, you know.
yeah. All right. So this is cubic zirconia, branded one. This is not branded, and just now that one was branded. So the price difference, whoa, it can be a big difference. Maybe this one is 50 cents. This one maybe, I don't know, $10, $15. Is or even $30, $50 because of the cut. Do you all want to see a diamond? Okay, you want to see a diamond? Show you a diamond under the microscope. Okay, this is the diamond. Oh, my camera. Oh, it's so dirty. Okay, one thing about diamond is that it attracts grease. So when you look at it, it's so dirty. Just now, the other two stones are not so dirty. Let me clean it. So one thing as a gemologist, before you touch any stones, before you look at them under the microscope, one good habit is to clean them, because just now I was with my father and we were looking at a 5-carat diamond. We took a photo, and when we blew it up, we realized there was a small piece of hair on the table. Can you imagine if we didn't realize it was a piece of hair? You would think that it's a feather. From a VS1, it will drop down to a VS2. So make sure you clean your stones. Okay, so this is a diamond. Now much better. So look at the diamond, the facets, they are very sharp. So the diamond and the first well-cut diamond, well-cut CZ, you don't really see much differences in terms of cutting. So for those of us trying to identify a well-cut CZ and a diamond, it's difficult to tell using this technique of looking at the facet edges. Yeah, the best way is now you can use what do you call it? Use fluorescence, because CZ actually fluoresces. Okay, I want to show you the zircon now, right? Zircon. Oh, you can see that already. Okay, see. Oh, one more thing. Zircon is a little brittle, so you might see chips on the facet edges. So you can see there's some chips already on this facet edges. So if you look at the facets, you can see it's doubling. Let me try to zoom in a little bit more. There. You see, this is the. You see that the facet is doubled. I try to
On the
focus
right-hand
it.
side. On the right-hand side.
Yeah.
On the right-hand side.
Like you see this
Top
cursor?
right. Top right.
You see this cursor?
On the to the right.
Yeah.
The cursor to
this?
the right. This is much better. Yeah.
You see this one V and now 2V. You see this V? Yeah, this is doubling. So this is a very clear indication. Let me zoom out so that you all can see better. Let me turn down the. Okay, when you zoom out, maybe not so. This is 7 times. I think you need to go a bit bigger to see. All right. It's not so clear. You got to zoom in a bit more, then you can see. Oops. So yeah, here you can see. It's doubling. All right. So I want to show you a blue zircon. Blue zircon is one of the famous zircon colors that you will see. This doubling is very, very obvious. So you can see the doubling. This is very obvious. Okay, let me zoom in a bit more. Wow, this is so obvious. Okay, you can see that all the facet edges are, see the doubling? Yeah. So what do I say is sensitive? Because when you put this under UV light, the color will, I had an experience before, the color faded. And if you try to put your zircons, the colored zircons under sunlight, you will see that you will also fade because sunlight has UV. So one of the ways to actually bring back color is to heat it up again. Let me show you a red zircon, or in this light, it's more like orangey. You can see the doubling again. Okay, many crystal inclusions in this stone. Yeah, okay, and last but not least, let me show you a green zircon. Just now, Andrew talked about the low zircon. This is a green zircon. Oops. As you can see that the polish, you're not able to achieve that kind of very high polish like the cubic zirconia, because zircon is a little bit brittle. So do take care of your zircons when you wear them. All right. Yeah, so that's all I have for you for the demo. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
Yes, so one thing about zircon is that it is really bright, and there are people who likes to use an alternative, a natural alternative to replace diamonds. So white zircon is an option, and of course white sapphire is another option. Some people they use quartz, but zircon is a good option because it is very highly dispersive and it is not expensive. However, because it is not so popular, so you may not be able to find it so easily everywhere. Yeah.
Oh, I want to show them the design, the zircon
Yes.
design that we made the other day. The King's Bespoke is our bespoke jewelry brand when we make bespoke jewelry. So let me find this. Wow. So you take a look at this one. This is a 18 karat brown zircon with diamonds at the side, together in an antique watch strap. Yeah. So why the customer chose this? Because zircon is also the birthstone for December. It made it into a special bracelet. So yeah, zircon is really beautiful. And zircon comes in many colors. It comes many colors: red, blue, green, yellow, brown, golden. Yes. By the way, Andrew also mentioned there are high zircon, medium zircon, low zircon. They are due to the radioactive radiation. 5 Gems and Jewelry, we sold color change zircon from Myanmar to a customer, and the customer brought it to a gem lab, and the gem lab said that this substance is radioactive. The customer got so shocked. He came out, I don't want to take this stone. This stone is radioactive, because the gem lab said that it shows radiation. Yes, the zircon, they have very minimum. They are affected by radiation, but they don't emit strong radiation. Everything on Earth, they radiate certain kind of radiation. So what happened? So we brought it to the National Environment Agency, and I sent it to to have a radiation test, and they did a test, and it came out zero, negligible traces of radiation. Yeah, but anyway, the customer already not happy with the stone, so we took it back. And yeah, so just for your information, because sometimes you can read in the literature talking about radiation, and don't be alarmed. But also, yeah, do check, do check, because there are some stones that have emit radiation, like this stone called aconite. I heard a story before about a Sri Lankan miner where he was mining gemstones and he found this aconite like this size, you know, and he didn't know what it was. He just left it on his table. A few weeks passed, he got sick, and after he got sick, he got even more sick, and he died. And then he passed away of cancer. So, but he didn't know. He didn't know that it was caused by the aconite. So especially in mining, you know, do be careful and do precaution. All right. So thank you very much, and hope you all enjoyed it. And do you have anything else, Huing, Andrew? Looks like we don't have much questions today.
So anyway, there was a question about diamonds and Andrew answered it. So it's interesting to look at UV. I mean, look at diamonds under UV, because there is actually quite a big knowledge about diamond fluorescence. Yes. So perhaps one of those sessions in the future, maybe Kuming, you know, or any present on the diamond fluorescence.
We wrote a blog on diamond fluorescence, right, Andrew?
Yeah, it's not ready yet.
We haven't
soon.
because
Yeah,
it's a lot of information. But in 2017, we did a night exhibition at the Gem Museum. It's called the Galaxy of Glowing Gemstones. You all can go to our YouTube channel, the Gem Museum at YouTube, and you can find that exhibition. We turn off all the lights and we replace all the showcase lights with UV tubes. It was amazing. Everything, we put diamonds that glow, orange, yellow, green. We put spinel, we put ruby, and fluorescence is something that is so amazing. So amazing. We should do a webinar on glowing gemstones.
Yeah,
Yes.
probably.
Yeah.
So Jenny asked, may I have the website to the gallery of jewelry pieces? I
Sure.
suppose it's the TK
I will
Bespoke.
type it out, www.tkbespoke.com. This is our bespoke jewelry brand, the King's Bespoke. You can follow us on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel where we have many videos there where you can enjoy and get inspiration. Yeah, and it's fantastic. So, and also check out our portfolio. If you need some inspiration, go there and get inspired. Yeah.
All right. So, if there is no more questions, I think we will end tonight's session here. Thank you, everyone, once again, for your patience, for your understanding, and for your questions as well. So we look forward to seeing you again in the next session, which will be next week. And next week we'll be talking about emeralds. And once again, we're going to showcase some emeralds. I think Kuming has got like emeralds from different parts of the world.
Yeah.
Right, Kuming, you have the really nice one, the really big one.
Yeah. We're from Colombia, from Brazil, from Afghanistan, from Zambia. Yeah, so many emeralds all over the world. So beautiful. So please join us, and also take note about our moving out sale for the Gem Museum shop. You can find us at on Facebook. You can just go and type Gem Museum shop. Join our Facebook group where you have all the deals up to 70% off, and enjoy gemstones. Let gemstones bring life to you, bring happiness in this COVID crisis. Let us just continue to stay strong and enjoy gemstones, and let gemstones encourage us. So see you next time. Thank you for joining us. Sorry about the technical difficulties in the start. We apologize for that, and next time we'll make it better. So see you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.